Hi everybody, welcome back. Thank you so much for watching. Welcome to my Pan That Palette update for my Vice LTD. I'm really excited to show you guys this. I apologize, my palette is really dirty inside and out. It's very well used lately. So I have managed to finish 2 shadows since my last update. You will notice the pink is gone. I finished Junkshow today actually. I put a little bit in my crease area. It's not super noticeable because I didn't have a lot left, but it is there. And I finished Anonymous, which was the pale creamy matte color, very, very close to my skin tone, so it was a really good base shade for my lid. Super easy to go through. I found that these pans are so shallow. You can see that there's not a whole lot of product in these pans. As I mentioned before in my intro for this palette, these palette pan sizes are approximately half the size of the pans from a palette such as the Naked palette. So I don't think this is going to cause me too much trouble at all. So for Anonymous, I used it all over my lid to set my primer. I would use it from my lash line to my brow bone just to make sure that everything else that I placed on top would blend out smoother. I would also use it to help blend out other shades. So when I would use darker shades in like the outer corner or in the crease even, I would pick up a little bit of Anonymous on a fluffy crease brush to help blend out those shadows a little bit better. I would also use it on my lower lash line to help blend out whatever I was using down there. So as for Junkshow, which formerly lived here, the beautiful pink satin shade, I've had a lot of people ask me how I used that shade and how I use pink shadows in general. So I'm just gonna say a lot of it has to do with confidence, because I do find that a lot of people don't have the confidence to wear something bright or do something unusual. And I get that. I mean, I will wear some crazy things in my video sometime that I wouldn't necessarily wear out in public. Generally, everything you would see on my lids, I have no problem with. It's more about like crazy lip colors. You might see me wear black lipstick or green lipstick or blue lipstick in my videos, which is not something I'm quite brave enough to wear out in public yet. So I totally understand. And I'm not insulting anyone, and I hope nobody is insulted by this. I'm just saying that I love pink eyeshadow. I will wear pink eyeshadow up to my freaking brow bone. I love it so much. Like I don't have any fear when it comes to eyeshadow. So for using Junkshow, I would literally wear that much pink eyeshadow on my face because I love it so much. I was doing pink smoky eyes, which was mostly Junkshow on my lid and Junkshow on my bottom lid, and even incorporating some of those really brighter shades from the Electric palette. I was doing like a sunset type looks where I would have Junkshow more on the outer corner, the outer portion of my lid. I was using Junkshow as an accent on the bottom of my lid sometimes. So if I did something similar to like what I'm wearing today, instead of having this sort of blue-green on the bottom, I would have like the pink. And sometimes I would use, I have a pink eyeliner from Urban Decay, Woodstock. So I would use the liner and then put Junkshow on top. So I wear a lot of pink. I would do the angled, like the tape look. I've worn that look a few times in my videos. It's the way I did my stage makeup too, where I just used the Scotch tape on the side to get the really sharp line, and I'd have a lot of pink on the outer corner. So like I will use pink eyeshadow in any possible way. I'm really sad the Junkshow is gone because I loved it so much that I'm going to have to start reaching for other pink eyeshadows to use in corporation with some of the other things. So those are the ways that I was using Junkshow, and will continue to use pink eyeshadows because I freaking love pink eyeshadows. So as for the rest of these shades, I believe there's a few more in here that I've hit pan on recently. Chase is one I'd hit pan on before, and same with Crystal. Not a whole lot of progress there. I did use both of these today. I've got a pretty good dip here on Provocateur. I think I'm going to hit pan on that one next. Like I think the dip is quite noticeable. So I use a lot of these shadows wet with a little fix. Plus I just find that it works so much better. They're so much easier to blend just a tiny little bit. It helps so much with the pop and to help some of the shimmer stay. So for example, Disco, which I've hit pan on there, has really chunky glitter on it. Use my band-aid, has really chunky glitter in it, so I have had to use it wet because when I was up using it dry, the glitter just wasn't sticking. So using it wet, the glitter still isn't sticking that well. I haven't had a lot of luck I've used a glitter primer. I just find a glitter primer works really well for containing a lot of glitter, not necessarily a little bit. I've got a little bit more progress on Deeper. I think I'll be able to finish that shade next. And I've got, still have Pan on Lace, still using that one mostly as a crease shade. I haven't used Nameless very much or Vaporize very much. Those are sort of boring shades to me. I've been using Last Sin a little bit, applied wet. It's a beautiful champagne color. Hoodoo and Freak Show I mentioned, the purple shades I've been using wet. Goddess I've used a few times. I've got a few ideas on how to use Goddess more. Floss, I really only have one way to use floss, and floss is a green shade, but it has a lot of glitter in it, but I find it's really beautiful for a green smoky eye. So what I do is I build the smoky eye first, and then I will layer floss gently on top so that the glitter won't go crazy and go everywhere, but that way I've got everything else sort of built with the smoky eye, and then I can use the glitter. So I don't have a lot of progress because that's really the only way I've been doing that, and I've only done that look like a couple of times out of the month. And Roadstripe. Roadstripe was a shade I didn't quite get for a while. You can see the Pan on Roadstripe. What happened with Roadstripe to really make it work in my head is that I knew it could be used as a highlight shade, but whenever I used it as a highlight shade, I didn't quite get it. It just seemed to be not right. So I'd look at it and I'd be like, oh, that's not right. Okay, I gotta put a little bit of like Kat Von D's Thunderstruck or something there instead. So I read an article about the Vice Reloaded palette where they were talking about Roadstripe, and they were talking about Urban Decay in the 90s and saying how Roadstripe was like the quintessential highlight for every 90s cool girl or something like that. And just the way that it was phrased, like the highlight for the 90s cool girl, I was like, oh my god, that's totally makes sense now. I totally see it working. It's why I've been using it as a highlight shade for pretty much everything I've been doing. So anyway, that is the progress I have made on my Vice LTD palette. If you have any comments, questions, suggestions about this palette, please make sure to let me know. Make sure to subscribe if you are not already so you can follow me on my panning journey. I have an update for my Naked Basics palette coming up very, very soon, so look forward to that. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you very soon in my next one. Bye.